Hi, Dr. Farmer Hinton, and welcome to this week's discussion. For my Heart and Minds post, I decided to have a conversation with my kitty, Missy. She's a calico cat, and she's all my roommates, so let's get into it. So Missy, this week I wanted to talk to you about my students at risk reading and video, specifically the Swaedner reading. I think that the Swaedner reading, I really got out of it was the importance of rhetoric. I think that we kind of touched on this last week, but the explanation was further within this reading. I think that it talked about at risk, like the wording of it is terrible. It has a negative connotation. It makes the student the helped, the oppressed, and it makes the teacher or the staff the helper or the savior. I think that this really messes up the power dynamic in classrooms. That is completely unneeded. I don't think that learning can happen when there is different power structures within the space. Another example that I really liked that kind of has a positive, it's a positive example is that the possibility of changing at risk to at promise, it takes away that negative connotation and it makes it seem like the student, there is room for success. That at risk, using the word at risk doesn't do. At promise means that there is something that lies ahead, there is more work to be done, and there is a possibility for success. I also really liked the explanation of the medical terminology of at risk and how that came to be. When I read this, I completely just kind of compared and analyzed this to past learning of the creation of race and that whole entire thing by medical examiners and doctors. And race was pretty much just created to perpetuate social ideals, and I think that labeling at-risk students is the same exact thing. And then finally, just talking about the video at the end, I really love this video. I feel like I've never seen inclusivity on that level in a real life situation, and I love the possibility and idea of this. I think that as America specifically gets more multicultural, I think that this is something that should be really ingrained within American schools. I loved the way that kids loved to express their languages, their cultural ideals with each other, and it was so easy for the other students to accept that. I think this only will foster more multicultural boundaries being crossed and better inclusivity and diversity.